Okay. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming along. I'd like to officially declare open this meeting at 5:35. We are currently online. And the first order of business is for me to thank Richard for doing that smoking ceremony. Thank you very much. It's always special. It's always special the way you do it. And can I call on you to give us an acknowledgement of country, please?
Okay, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're meeting on today, the past and present. So, Mabo Ngurungura, good afternoon. My name is Richard Rose, Ngayu Nigana Wamba. Nigana Nganga Bari. I'm a local from here, and we say in our country, in our area, Yatka Galia Mabo Jua Burga Jalawa. Nigana Mari Abjadu, Nigana Abungayu, Yayu, Jia Galia, Mabo Ngurungura. This is our country, Nigana. We welcome you to our country. We ask that you respect our place. When you might leave this country, we wish you might go back with good luck, good heart, and good spirit. That way that everyone will look after you and that you feel well looked after. And once again, congratulations to all that made the council and all the candidates. Good luck and thank you.
Thanks very much, Richard. All right, so with that acknowledgement of country, I'd like to move on. It'll be a slightly unusual meeting for most people tonight. It starts off as a commissioners' meeting, effectively with one representative at the table, and as we go through the agenda, it morphs into the first council meeting, swearing into the councillors and the first council meeting. So to start with, the first couple of items are probably me alone as I'm finishing up. So we're online, so let me make this disclaimer. This meeting will be video recorded and live streamed on the Shire's YouTube channel, with the exception of confidential items and periods of adjournment as determined by the presiding member, which initially will be me and subsequently it'll be Peter next to me. By being present at this meeting, members of the public consent to the possibility that their voice and or image may be live streamed to the public. Recordings will also be made available on the Shire's YouTube channel and official website following the meeting. The official record of the meeting will be the written minutes kept in accordance with the Local Government Act 1995 and any relevant regulations. So I have already declared open the meeting. I'd just like to announce the visitors that we have here. From staff point of view, we have Tamara Clarkson, Chief Executive Officer. We have Wayne Neat, Director Infrastructure, Jill Brazil, Director Corporate Services, Luke Lawrence, Director Community Planning, Maria O'Connell, Coordinator Communications and Media, Ryan Balderson, Executive Assistant to the CEO, Richard Rose, I think is still with us, Aboriginal Engagement Manager, Santana Rose, Manager Community Development, Kylie Tame, Manager Development Services, Telia Riley, Coordinator Governance and Risk, Stuart McDonald, Ranger, and Michaela May, Library Officer. McLeod. Did I say that wrongly? Stuart McLeod, Ranger. Okay, thanks very much. We also have, of course, family and friends and members of the public present. I'd like to acknowledge people for coming along. Also, I specifically like to acknowledge the Honourable Robin Chappell as a long-term friend of local government. Thanks for attending, Robin. I think Elsa was going to be here, but she's not, unfortunately. I would have acknowledged Elsa as the only Freeman of Derby had she been here. Second. Second.
The most recent of.
Thank you for correcting me, Peter. Attendance via electronic means. So we have Carissa O'Meara on the screen. Welcome, Carissa. Carissa has already been sworn in, so I'll introduce you as Councillor Carissa O'Meara. And similarly, Councillor Adam Cornish on the screen. Welcome to both of you. Adam's in Tasmania, and Carissa is in Perth. And Leah Umberguy, the other successful candidate, unfortunately is in the United States, as I understand it. So she won't be with us tonight. Moving on, item 5. Applications for leave of absence, I have nil. Public time. So there is the opportunity for public questions. 6.1, public question time. Are there any questions from members of the public? Thank you. Any public statements? Thank you. Nil. Disclosures of interest. This is a standard agenda, people, so we work through standard items here. Declaration of financial interest, bearing in mind that this part of the meeting is simply with me as the presiding member, so there are no financial interests for me to declare, no proximity interests for me to declare, but I reiterate 2 impartiality interests that I've been making in my whole time here, and that is that I'm a director of the Woonan Foundation and a director of Goomla Investments Proprietary Limited. I was formerly a Shire, a Wyndham East Kimberley councillor, but we could perhaps remove that because I didn't renominate. Okay, item 8, and we're getting close to a handover here. Item 8. This is where I have the opportunity to make some announcements as presiding officer, presiding member. I'm going to take the opportunity today to make a statement, and I'll do so in the form of an open letter of congratulations to the new councillors, which contains a whole series of recommendations that I'd like to put on the table. Of course, they're completely up to you what you do with them, but I'd like to get that into the public record, and because it's in the public record, it also takes the form of the 7th and final update from Commissioner. So, you might hear my voice for a little bit longer, folks. Has everyone got a copy of this? Could we just hand that out to the new councillors, please? So Adam and Carissa will probably just have to listen. There'll be a copy for you when we next see you. So, my dear President and councillors, my hearty congratulations on your election to your positions. You are the new leaders of this community. Whether you're a returning councillor or a new councillor, I don't need to stress the importance to your community of the role that you have taken on. It's a weighty responsibility. I also do not need to highlight the unique circumstances under which you're taking up your roles and the role that I will be vacating upon your appointment of my work as Commissioner, which I hope will be of some value to the incoming council. The issues that precipitated the situation of the previous council are personal to that council, so I make no comment upon them, and I would continue to make no comment on them. However, it is true that the Shire has for some time operated under structural budget constraints. With that in mind, early tasks for me included stabilising the immediate cash flow, setting a Shire budget that reflects the delivery of core functions and services, and establishing a long-term financial plan. These elements are all currently in place and have been accomplished without the need to dramatically increase rate revenue from the limited ratepayer base or to take on new debt. Importantly, monitoring budget performance whilst using the Council's best endeavours to maximise new revenue, particularly from external grant sources, will, in my view, need to be front of mind for the new Council. I recently made a budget amendment to better clarify the starting budget position, and in an attempt to provide the new and incoming council with the clearest view possible of the Shire's financial position. The long-term financial plan that is now in place can be modified by the new council. However, it is in its current form That plan clarifies several key matters for Council to consider, and this contains some of my recommendations. Firstly, the Shire remains in a tight financial position. With sensible decisions, I believe it is manageable. You're in a similar situation to many shires elsewhere in the state. Close financial monitoring at a strategic level and early warning will be the keys. I recommend that Council draws on the two processes that we have created via the independently chaired Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee and the Shire's own internal audit process. The Shire has low levels of reserves that make investment decisions challenging, particularly when attracting grants that require matching money. It's worth noting that the Shire's operating surplus ratio is poor and that building reserves will need to be a Council priority for the next 4 to 5 years. I recommend that Council progressively take decisions that purposefully build reserves. I also recommend that Council discuss this point in more granular detail with the Shire's external financial advisors at the briefings that are planned in the coming weeks. The Shire has relatively low external grant contributions. I recommend that Council support the administration to build internal Shire capability to attract grants and focus on being a strong and reliable partner for potential grant funders. Fourthly, there are big and unavoidable investments coming for core infrastructure in the Shire. I recommend that Council develop a strong and comprehensive planning basis that allows Council to plan for major investments well ahead and deliberately create opportunities for external grant funders and partners to come on board. The Shire capacity to service debt is limited. Council will need to be prudent in its debt financing and reduce borrowings over the longer term. Shire revenue raising capacity is constrained. Rates provide 40% of your revenue, and I recommend that Council, informed by its administration and external financial advisors, consider a reasonable but longer term rating strategy. Capacity to fund asset management and renewals poses a very significant long-term pressure. The new Council will need to better understand whole-of-life planning, asset planning, and I recommend that Council finalise and socialise a strategic asset management framework. Incoming councillors will note that this work is well advanced. The Shire is faced with changing operating environment and escalating costs. Insurance is one example, but so too is CPI pressure. I recommend that Council considers these long-term pressures and that it monitor cost trends, external cost trends, and prudently plan for them. That's the downside. The upside, of course, is that development opportunity and innovation provide options for upside benefits for the Shire. I recommend that Council consider opportunities optimistically, be informed by the evidence and experts, and plan conservatively. The economic development strategy that is underway is one such opportunity for Council to guide the future. And finally, on recommendations, it's about involving your community in helping managing and shaping the future. Many members of this new Council campaigned on community engagement. The Shire has started a process to develop a community plan. This is a mandatory requirement, so you've got to do it anyway, but it's also one where the plan will only be better by strong community involvement. It's a great opportunity for Council. Continuing councillors will already know, and new councillors will quickly learn from their training, that the role of the Council is well prescribed within the Local Government Act. I suggest that becoming familiar with the legislative requirements of the role is a vital early step for a councillor. Put into practical language, Council's role includes, through good governance, to guide the strategic decision-making of the organisation. That essentially means to work together to develop a clear, longer-term understanding of where you want your community to be and the long-term goals and broad direction of your Shire. This is separate from the short-term specific actions that can be characterised as tactical or operational. These functions are largely the responsibility of your administration. Importantly, I recommend that Council, wherever possible, does its mandatory training together to build this team that we have here that's now been elected, to build that council team, and the cooperative approach will also build a shared understanding of your roles. Councillors will receive a more detailed induction later this week, where there will be opportunities to discuss the current situation in respect of projects in much more detail. I encourage all councillors to look at that induction through the strategic lens that you are all required to use. Try not to be distracted by the smaller scale, short-term matters, but rather focus on the bigger picture, longer-term view of your Shire. So this letter is necessarily general in nature. However, there are a few overarching points that I'd like to make. These are things I'd like to leave you with. Councillors should keep an eye on legislative compliance. I believe that we've made very significant steps over the course of the last 6 months to progress our level of compliance. Thank you, Tamara and team. But we are not fully there yet. Council is well served by the capable and committed administrative staff, and they are well led. I have, during my term as Commissioner, confirmed the permanency of the CEO and established a process that Council will need to finalise around determining relevant performance criteria. The CEO will also advise Council on progress in the establishment of a workforce development plan. I encourage the new Council to embrace their administration, as it's that administration that will deliver your objectives, Council objectives. Strategic planning and policy basis for the Shire is developing well. However, it will need ongoing oversight from Council. Finally, the Shire of Derby West Kimberley will best achieve its longer-term goals through partnership with a wide range of partners locally and further afield. I would encourage Council to position itself as a reliable partner of choice in all of its external dealings and arrangements. This will be the start point for external funders to better view opportunities within the Shire. Finally, and in closing, I have committed to the Minister for Local Government, the Honourable Hannah Beasley, to do a final statement on my role as Commissioner. This letter contains much of what I will report to the Minister. But I want to publicly thank her for her confidence she had to appoint me to the role. I thank the staff of the Shire of Derby West Kimberley for the privilege it's been to work with you all, and to the people of the Shire for the welcoming and inclusive way you have dealt with me. I wish the new Council well in the challenge they face and express my confidence in your collective abilities and leadership. Thanks very much, everybody. So that's item 8. And can we have that in the minutes, please, Ryan? Okay, so we move on now to, this is now the formal transition from Commissioner role to the new Council. So we've got the swearing in of the President as item 9.1. So we're all aware that there were council elections held on the 18th of October, managed by the WA Electoral Commission. It's resulted in the WA Electoral Commission today at 12 o'clock declaring the result. Peter McCumpsty, to my right, has been elected President. So congratulations to Peter, but it's now my pleasant duty to swear you in as President. So you need to.
I, Peter John McCumpsty of 5 McClarty Street, Derby, having been elected to the office of President of the Shire of Derby West Kimberley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully honestly, and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the Shire of Derby West Kimberley under Section 5.103 of the Local Government Act 1995.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, everyone.
So with that, I'll formally hand over the chair to you, and happy to come back and help swear in the councillors when you are required. That's right.
Thanks, Tamara. Just quickly, councillor-elects, little bit of housekeeping. So if you want to speak, you need to press the right-hand button on your microphone and flick it again to turn it off. You will find that you can only have 2 or 3 of those on at the same time, otherwise you're muted. Very important to understand, we are live streaming, as the Commissioner has indicated, and this is the method by which the audio is picked up through that process, and also enables us all to hear each other nice and clearly, although I've been told I'm loud without it, so we shall see. Thank you, Commissioner. I have a few words that I will say at the end of the agenda in regards to our Commissioner that's been in place for the last 8 months. Item 9.2 is the declaration by councillor members, and I will call upon councillors in order that I have them in front of me to come forward. Our Commissioner is fortuitously also a Justice of the Peace, so Jeff will come forward and do the signatory side of things as far as that's concerned. So the recommendation I have in front of me at this point is the following elected council members read aloud and sign the declaration required under the Local Government Act 1995 and were formally sworn in, witnessed by the Justice of the Peace, Jeff Gooding. Can I call upon Jeff Davis to come forward as the first councillor-elect? Jeff, did you want to... Thank you. Yep. I've got the handheld one.
I, Jeffrey Davis of Lot 20, Urabi Road, Fitzroy Crossing, WA, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the Shire of Derby West Kimberley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the Shire of Derby West Kimberley under Section 5.103 of the Local Government Act 1995. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. Councillor-elect Trish Galt.
I, Patricia Lillian Galt of 28 Marmion Street, Derby, WA 6728, having been elected to the office of Councillor of the Shire of Derby West Kimberley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the Code of Conduct adopted by the Shire of Derby West Kimberley under Section 5.103 of the Local Government Act 1995.
Thank you, Councillor Gold. Councillor-elect Elliott Money.
Thank you. I, Elliott Money of 136 Knowsley Street East, Derby, West Australia 6728, have been elected by the office of the Councillor of the Shire of Derby, West Kimberley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office of the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the code of conduct adopted by the Shire of Derby, West Kimberley under section 5.103 of the Local Government Act 1995, declared here in the Derby Council Chambers.
Thank you, Councillor Money. Councillor-elect Val Ross.
I, Valerie Ross of 1 Corrajong Loop, Derby, WA 6728, have been elected to the office of Councillor of the Shire of Derby, West Kimberley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and abilities, and will observe the code of conduct adopted by the Shire of Derby, West Kimberley under section 5.103 of the Local Government Act 1995, declared at the Shire Chambers, Derby.
Thank you, Councillor Ross. Councillor-elect Laurie Shaw.
I, Laurie Shaw of Gillarong Community in Fitzroy Crossing, have been elected to the office of Councillors of the Derby, Shire of Derby, West Kimberley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly, faithfully, honestly and with integrity fulfil the duties of the office for the people in the district according to the best of my judgment and ability, and will observe the code of conduct adopted by the Shire of Derby, West Kimberley under section 5.103 of the Local Government Act 1995. That's it.
Thank you, Councillor Shaw. We have Councillor Leah Umberguy on the list, councillors, and those in the gallery. So Councillor-elect Umberguy is currently in Washington, and although it's unfortunate she can't be here tonight, I also applaud the fact and recognise the fact that Leah, as we all know, will be representing the Shire of Derby, West Kimberley over in the fine city of Washington in the United States, and when she returns, she will be duly sworn in. The only difficulty that creates for her is when we get to the elections for the Deputy President, Leah won't be able to vote on it. Okay, due to their unavailability also, on Monday the 20th of October 2025, the following elected council members read aloud and signed the declaration required under the Local Government Act 1995 and were formally sworn in, witnessed by a Justice of the Peace on Sunday the 19th of October 2025, and that's Councillor Adam Cornish and Councillor Carissa O'Meara. Congratulations and welcome.
Through the chair, At the time of printing the agenda, it was anticipated the election would be called, and so I thought that both Carissa and Adam would take their oath on Sunday. However, they both have taken it today, the 20th of October, and the minutes will be amended accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. Okay, we move to item 9.3, which is the election and swearing in of the Deputy President. I understand that we have received 2 nominations at this point in time. Yep, and I'm going to pass this part of the process across to our CEO as the returning officer. Thank you, Tamara.
Thank you. Through the chair, at the start of the meeting, before the start of the meeting, 2 nominations for Deputy President were received, Trish Galt and Carissa O'Meara. As both of these people have taken their oath, they are both eligible. So I will hand a ballot paper. It is a confidential vote, and then I will tally them before making an announcement.
Thanks.
Carissa and Adam online, could you please text me your option for Deputy President?
Can do.
Through the chair, at the completion of the election, Carissa O'Meara received 6 votes and Trish Galt received 2. Therefore, I would invite Carissa to read the declaration by the Deputy President that must actually be witnessed in front of a JP, and we will struggle to do that today. So we will organise the Deputy President election when you return to Derby with our Freeman of the Shire, Elsa Archer. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. Congratulations to Carissa. Thanks, Trish, for putting your hand up.
Thank you.
Now, this part might sound a little bit overly formal to those in the room who aren't familiar with local government, but it is part of the process. It does play a role. So I talk about item 9.4, which is the ballot for seating order for council members. Now, traditionally in the Shire of Derby West Kimberley, we've had the Deputy President sit to the right over here of the President, but the other seating allocations are done by a ballot, which the CEO will undertake. Please, if you have any issues that can cause a problem from where you're sitting, if you've got a hearing issue or something like that, don't hesitate to advise the CEO, but we will go through this process now. Tamara will hand out, has got the little blue balls with everybody's name in it. Yes, they are little blue balls. Yes. That will evolve as we go forward. Councillor Davis is asking a question. Because we're live streaming and people need to see who's voting for what at future council meetings, you'll be given a little baton with a yay or a nay on it or something similar to that. So the previous councillors thought it was quite hilarious. We didn't actually get to use them, but you will be using them going forward, I would suggest.
Through the chair, the first position, which is seat 3, is Trish Galt, which is the chair you're sat in now, in fact. Position 4 is Adam Cornish. Position 5 is Jeff Davis. Position 6 is Elliot Money. Position 7 is Laurie Shaw. Position 8 is Leah Umberguy, which means that position 10 or 9, or what are we up to? Position 9 is Val Ross. Thank you, President.
Thank you, CEO. So the recommendation is that Council endorse the Council Chamber seating positioning for the President, Deputy President and Chief Executive Officer. 2, notes the order of seating ballots drawn by individual council members. And 3, endorses the seating positions as follow. And I'll ask you to read those out. Did you write them down?
Yes. Through the chair, yep. Ryan did. Elected member seat 3, Trish Galt. Seat 4, Adam Cornish. Seat 5, Jeff Davis. Seat 6, Elliot Money. Seat 7, Laurie Shaw. Seat 8, Leah Umberguy. Seat 9, Val Ross.
Thank you. We need a...
I would like to make a second.
Yes, thank you. So, councillors, your first official duty is to, I ask you for a mover or a seconder. Would someone like to move that those seating positions be authorised, please? Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Shaw. Anyone against? Carried. Nothing online. 8. 0. That, councillors, brings us to item 10, business of an urgent nature. This is your standard agenda. Although it's not an urgent business, I am going to take this opportunity to extend the thanks on behalf of the council here today and the members of our community for the role that the Commissioner, Jeff Gooding, has played in ensuring that our community, our Shire community, has been able to continue forward despite the issues we had. And that's the last time you'll hear me talk about those issues, because it's all about going forward, it's all about the future. But in doing that, firstly, I cannot overstate, how valuable I think it was that we actually got a commissioner appointed who has 40 years of experience in the region, has been a councillor, has been a CEO of the Kimberley Development Commission. He's been a CEO of a number of government organisations. That in itself, I think, has left us in good stead and has enabled Jeff, as the Commissioner, to go forward and to understand what the issues were. You heard the Commissioner refer to the financial position today as per the financial position previously, and the financial previously over the last 20 years. This is not new. We struggle, we will continue to struggle. We do need to do things differently, only as so much as we need to be looking at other avenues to raise revenue for the Shire. Our poor old ratepayers do cop it, left, right and centre, but that's just been the reality of the Shire of Derby West Kimberley. We are no orphans in that, and I, for one, believe that the council we've now got elected will be more than capable of picking up some of those recommendations, if not all of them, made by Jeff Gooding as the Commissioner, and I think we all work forward on that basis. Not only have he been able to continue the ongoing operations of our Shire, there has been progress in a number of areas that I think will put us again in very good stead going further in the future, and not least of that has been getting that level of understanding from ministers of the state of the difficulties that we face daily as a Shire. Having said that, I also would like to say that the communication level which the Commissioner used to let the community know what was happening in the Shire is bar none, and I've already told him I'm going to plagiarise the hell out of it, and the community can look forward to future bulletins on a regular basis after our council meeting, so that there is a clear, much more, and I don't like using the word transparent, because by nature local government is transparent. Take my word for it, as we go forward you will learn to understand how transparent you are. But it's about communication and getting the word out to the community, what your Shire's doing, what it's thinking, and how best it would like to go forward with the community. So to just finish that, I would also like to thank the CEO and her staff, because they have worked vigorously with the Commissioner to keep a stable ship going forward. We took on a bit of water, we got rid of it, we're moving forward, we've got a new council, and I certainly endorse the work that the CEO, Tamara and staff have done. Jeff, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart particularly. Yes, we do go back a long way. That has not played any role whatsoever, and your professionalism, as always, has been par excellence, and I really do want to say a big thank you. I want it recorded so that everyone understands that although it could have been a different environment, we could have had a commissioner from somewhere else who might not have understood the local scenario. We were fortunate. And Jeff, if you wouldn't mind coming forward, we'd like to offer you a parting gift on behalf of the Shire of Derby West Kimberley. That's good. That's what it was meant to be. Thank you, mate.
Thanks very much, everybody.
I've also taken the opportunity a little while ago to make sure he leaves here with one of Hoosie Chapman's hats that says, "I belong in Derby." I don't know how he's going to go wearing it in Kununurra, but anyway. Councillors, 11.1 under closure is the next ordinary meeting of council will be held Thursday the 30th of October 2025 at 5:30 p.m. in the council chambers, Clarendon Street, Derby. However, before I do the final closure, the CEO has handed out to you a program for the next few days and everything. Yes, we will do that, and so don't run away, please. And yes, we've got some drinks and food happening and everybody's invited, but we want to have some informal discussion about your movements over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks going forward, so that we can get a good understanding, the staff can get a good understanding of how best to pull together, because the Commissioner did make the point, and I totally agree, everything going forward is teamwork. So I formally close the meeting at 6:20. Thank you.